Counsel of the Day with Shanrae.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70 because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. I am Shanrae, and we are on part two of week 2. We talked about on Tuesday night the RAS, which is the reticular activating system, which is in the back of our head, is a bundle of nerves, and that's what gives us our motivation and our memory and different things like that. Take with all of that. And creativity, how creativity is such as a mood booster. It takes you away from being anxious or anything like that. It boosts intellect. And it's just a fun activity to be creative. We talked about it on Tuesday. Tonight, we're going to pick up where we left off from Tuesday night. But before we get started, I want to go on and I'm going to do my website disclaimer. All right, let me greet my my social media family. So, good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, Twitter or X. So good to see y'all on this evening. All right, so we're going to pick up from where we left off, but let me start with the website disclaimer. Please be aware that due to the nature of the technology I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies will be used as advisory and informational only, and it will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself are limited subject to the limitations of current and available material, but the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that you consult another physician, another specialist, and or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. All right, let me move on to my bio. I'm a degreed counselor. I'm also a Christian counselor as well. So I acquired a dual Bachelor's of Science degree, one in psychology and organizational management from Ashford University. My great passion is bringing healing to people who've been through traumatic or stressful experiences. We all know as humans that when we experience trauma or severe life stressors, it is not uncommon that we feel like that our lives are unraveling. I help clients who include children, adults, and families to find healthy perceptions of themselves and to strengthen their relationships so that they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, whole, and safe. All right, so let me move this along. That's my website disclaimer. I did my bio, and that moved a little fast. So again, I'm a Christian counselor, and my scripture for the whole year actually is going to be from Ephesians 4:23, the NIV version. And it says to be made new in the attitude of your mind. So let's jump right in to our key points for tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about overcoming the battle of negative thinking. All right, because this week has been dedicated to activating our 2024 by validating who we are ourselves. All right, so overcoming the battle of negative thinking. Then we're going to talk about the neurobics of brain training activities and the neurobics of practices. Then we're going to, of course, do our takeaway and our quote. So let's jump in because this 30 minutes is going to go and come quickly. Now, this is an open platform, so if you have any questions, I will pause and I will highlight and I will answer the questions. If you want to share a life scenario, I will pause and highlight that. And so again, this is an open platform. All righty then. So let's start here. I'm doing something a little different tonight. I wanted to read this and go. This is by Dr. Jacob Coyne, and he's also a Christian therapist, a psychologist, as well as a minister. So Jacob Coyne is a founder of Stay Here. He infuses life into dark corners of mental health, and this is his specialty. So he gives hurting souls a reason to live. He shows not only how Christ brings life to full, but also how anyone, regardless of their past or pain, can find healing. So I'm going to be starting with overcoming the battle of negative thinking. All right. So the questions that he started out asking is, do you know that you have nearly 6,000 thoughts every single day? And many of those thoughts are conversations that we actually have with our own self. All right. So says, do you talk to yourself? Right. He said, you do talk to yourself. He said, everybody talks to themselves. But what do you say? Is it all negative talk? So Dr. Coyne says, here are some examples of the kind of negative self-talk that we might experience. Like, for instance, a child on their way to school or in a social situation might say to themselves, no one will notice my new outfit. And if they do, they'll make fun of it. Okay, that's some negative examples that he gave, talk examples. You should go, he said, and then you tell yourself you should go back home. No, so no matter how much that you've accomplished, at the end of the day, you can. Some people say to themselves that you didn't get everything done. What a failure! And these are common things that come up in everybody's mind, in everybody's psyche. But we're talking about how we're going to combat that and reverse these negative talks, overcoming negative thinking. All right, so dealing with money issues. Some people may say that they'll never figure this out. Or they may always say that you always struggle financially. And again, we've learned starting last week, and then on Tuesday night, we really it opened up and learned about how our conscious mind is what really drives our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind will always do what our conscious mind is thinking. All right, so and then when you do something wrong, some people might say things like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot. You always mess things up. So, and the negative talk goes on and on. Worse is when you say the same things to yourself over and over and over again, which is stuck in a loop. And Dr. Lord, it slipped my mind real quick. Dr. Coyne, Jacob, let's say Dr. Jacob, that's his first name. Dr. Jacob calls that stinking thinking. All right. So what you say to yourself, it does matter more than you can imagine. The first part of Proverbs 4:23, and y'all know I'm a Christian counselor. I'm not pushing this on anyone else, but this is just my foundation. It says, the Proverbs 4:23 says to be careful how you think. Why? Because as the verse goes on to say, your life is shaped by your thoughts. Okay. Psychologists call this the law of cognition. All right. So essentially, this law says that what you think impacts what you believe. All right. And which impacts how you feel, which impacts what you do. So your life moves in the direction of your strongest and most frequent thought patterns. So you are the most influential person in your own life, because no one talks to you more than you do. And we know, most of us who've lived long enough, we know that's true. All right. So, but sadly, we may be talking ourselves into a life that we hate. So that's why Dr. Jacob wants to help us learn how to end this negative loop. The world at large is becoming more and more negative, which it really is. We've been seeing so much in social media, guys. We know the latest mess that's happened started in the first month of the year, January, with that major, it was a major interview with Cat Williams. And it just seems to keep moving on and on and on with this negative stuff. And people tend to draw more to the negativity because they're not very happy with their own selves. So they draw more to that stuff, and it's like an addiction. It's like a drug. But we can turn this around. All right. So Dr. Jacob says that he wants to help people learn how to end this negative loop. Okay, the world is at large is becoming more and more negative, which I said before, and chronic negativity has become an epidemic, and yes, it has. Okay, and that's poisoning people's mental health left and right. Okay. All right. So Dr. Jacob says that in many ways, negativity is a spiritual problem. We know that it is. Those of us that are that has a foundation as being a religious a believer, we know that that is a negative. That's a problem. But the good news is that by the power and the grace of God, okay, we can choose what we think about, and what we think about determines how we live. So we're not a victim of our negative thoughts. We're definitely not victims of our negative thought pattern. And then Dr. Jacob goes in and he gives scripture, Romans 8:5. He says, those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on what the flesh desires. And he talks about, Apostle Paul wasn't talking about our skin. The word in the Greek for flesh is sarx, A-S-A-R-K-S, like arcs, but sarx. And it means sinful nature. So essentially, he's saying that those who live according to their sinful nature have their mind set on what the sinful nature wants to do. Okay? What kind of impact does this have on us? So Romans 8:6 talks about the mind is governed by the flesh and death. So it's darkness, it's destruction. But the verse finishes by saying that the mind is governed by the spirit of life and peace. Think about it. So the mind governed by the flesh is death. The news that consume, the TV shows that we watch, the lyrics to the music that we listen to. And I'm going to pause with this. We just watched, a lot of us that watch the Grammys, we just watched a young lady win some Grammys, some major Grammys off of the beat of the song is amazing. But the words of the song is troubling. I just killed my ex, not the best idea. That killed his girlfriend next. I was like, the melody is really, it really brings you in. But the words are troubling. And she ends it, rather be in hell than alone. First she says, rather be in jail than alone. Then she ends the song by saying, rather be in hell than alone. Let me tell y'all something. That's scary. And so many people that are singing this song and getting it in them. It's like a satanic medley that, and so what Dr. Jacob is talking about here is just helping, trying to bring people back around and have them start thinking about the negative stuff that's out there that's drawing you in. And again, this tonight is about how we can we're going to change our mindset. We're changing, it's overcoming the battle of negative thinking. Okay, so I'm not doing a sermon or anything. This is just a teaching that I wanted to teach on tonight. Okay, so they all create an inner script and which helps direct your lives. So if you find yourself feeling hurt, feeling broken or discouraged, could it be that our mind is set on the things of this world instead of the things of positive nature, on a positive nature, or as Christians, the things that are more Christ-like? So because when we set our mind on the things of God or positive things, the things of the spirit, will find life and peace in all of this. So I'm going to do something a little different tonight, something I normally don't do, but I'm going to do it tonight because I do feel that it is necessary. I like this teaching here, this theory by Dr. Jacob Coyne, C-O-Y-N-E, Coyne. I might be saying it wrong. I really like this teaching again, and it's called Overcoming the Battle of Negative Thinking, because again, we all do it. We all have negative thoughts. I'm gonna start back again. He says that we nearly have 6,000 thoughts every day, and most of these thoughts are negative. So we have to combat. We have to find ways to change those negative thought patterns into positive ones. And so I wanted to end this, and I'm going to put this up later on, this prayer, but I want to end this. I like this, what Dr. Jacob said, this prayer. It says, Jesus, I want freedom from the cycle of negativity I found myself in. Today, I'm asking you to give me new thought patterns and a new lens through which I see myself and my situation and the world around me. To remember who we are and what we've done for me. Help me to meditate on your word and let it produce fruit in my life that drowns out all negative roots that I've let grow around me. In your name, I pray, amen. And again, I've never really done this, but I did it tonight because I really did enjoy this theory tonight that Dr. Jacob Coyne, he talked about, and how he did his research on negative thinking and how we can combat it. Let's move on now to Neurobics Brain Training Activities by Dr. Brandon Hallen. Okay, so, and let me open this up to make sure that I'm on the right page. Hold on. Okay, I'm not. All right, there we go. All right. So, and that I'm still not. Let me see. There we go. We did the prayer. Okay, now we're here. There we are. Okay, so Dr. Brandon says that if you want to grow larger biceps, and he's just giving examples, and improve your arm strength, you might try exercises that specifically target the portion of the arm, which is the curls, the arm curls, pull-ups, barbell rolls. He said, but what if you want to strengthen and improve your brain function? Okay. He said, like your memory and attention specifically. He said there are specific science-based practices that can accomplish this, and they're called neurobics. Okay. Like aerobics, but it's neurobics. Okay. A term coined by Dr. Lawrence Katz, neurobics. So specifically, neurobics helps create new neural paths in our brain by using sensory information. Where am I? Sensory information, your sight, your smell, your sound, your touch, and your taste in unique or novel ways. So the practices are designed to break everyday routines and to use specific neural pathways that don't get much focused activity on a daily basis. So here are a variety of neurobic exercises that help build and strengthen new neural connections. Okay, now we're still talking about how we can retrain our brains from thinking negatively. A lot of times, the way that we can shift the negative thoughts is if we replace it with things that, first of all, things that we can learn new things, or start practicing new things. Okay, so here are the exercises that Dr. Brandon gave. These are the neurobic practices, and let me move this on. And we did good tonight. Oh my goodness, we did good tonight. I'm gonna wind up in it early. I can't believe it. Okay, so the neurobic practices are: number one, close your eyes while showering. I'm gonna actually do that one. Close your eyes while showering. Okay. Number two is, and remember, while doing these things, practicing these things, this is going to strengthen your brain. It's going to strengthen your memory. It's going to strengthen your attention and your focus. So number one was try closing your eyes while you're taking a shower. Number two is eat a meal with your family in silence and use only visual cues. And so that's real old school, like you doing sign language or something. That's something different. Number three says go camping or bird watching or fishing or nature walking on the weekend. That's something that most people don't do, but trying something new. Again, all of this is going to help build your the neurons in your brain. It's going to help your focus, your attention. It's going to help your memory portion. So number four says take your child or take your spouse or a parent to work with you for the day if you can. That's if you can. Okay. Number five says take a completely new route to work. I used to do that. I'm a creature of habit, but sometimes I would take a whole different route to work just to stir things up, to do things a little differently. Hi, Gaga. How you doing? Good to see you. So sometimes I would do that. So this is, again, we're talking about, it's called neurobics, like aerobics, but it's neurobics. And what this will do is it'll help strengthen your memory. It'll help strengthen your attention and your focus. All right. So number six says shop at a farmer's market instead of a supermarket, or shop at a new supermarket. All of these things actually, it heightens your memory. It heightens your attention. It heightens your focus. All right. Number seven says completely rearrange your whole workplace or your home desktop or your table or kitchen surfaces just for the day. if you rearrange it and do something different, you would be surprised how it wakens your brain up. Okay, and again, we're talking about neurobics, like aerobics, but neurobics for your mind. Number 8 says do an art project, like painting. And they said try doing something with your left hand. Try do it with your left hand. And that is, I tell you, that is a challenge. But what it does is these neurobics, aerobics for your mind, neurobics, what it does, it starts to waken up your memory, your focus, your attention, those type of things. So again, number 8 was do an art project like painting, maybe with your left hand. Number 9 says buy some new fragrances for your house, because your smell, your senses, all of this plays a large role in with your brain. So try to buy some new fragrances for your house and see what it does, and then try to figure out what the smells are. Number 10 says listen to Baroque era music. Okay, hold on, guys. I need to find this for a minute. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Baroque era music. That's what I meant to do. I meant to find it and put it in here. But I want us to find out, because we're about to find out together. What is Baroque era music? Baroque era music. Let me know if y'all can hear this. This is going to be something different. Baroque era music. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find this. All right, let me know if y'all can hear this. I'm going to play it, because we all finding out together what Baroque era music is. Oh. Can y'all hear that? All right. You know what? I've been listening to. I hear this music a lot. I didn't realize it was called Baroque music ever. I didn't know that though. So okay, we learned something together. I don't know. Gaga, could y'all? Excuse me. Did you, Gaga? Was you able to hear that? The music, the Baroque era music. Okay, so number 10 said, she said, yeah, okay. And I know you heard that music before too. I just didn't know it was called Baroque era music. And actually, I'm gonna start listening to it because I love music like that. I'm gonna actually put that in my Spotify playlist. Okay. So again, they said listening to that type of music, it stimulates the brain. Right. Gaga said that she's heard that music before too. So it stimulates your memory. It stimulates listening to that music, your focus. It stimulates your mind. So I'm actually going to put that in my playlist. All right. Number 11 says read challenging material and then read it out loud. So, I try to read a lot anyway, but reading challenging material and read it out loud, that is a huge brain stimulator. It stimulates your memory, your focus. It stimulates everything. Let me see what else that doctor was talking about. Again, and with the neurobics, it awakens your sight, your smell, your sound, your touch, your taste. It's really funny how the brain works, but this wakes everything up with these neurobic type of exercises. But it mainly works on your memory and your attention and your focus. All right, number 12 says eat new or unfamiliar foods. Okay, that will also enlighten and heighten your memory, your attention, your focus. And again, with that, it's using your five senses: your sight, your smell, your touch, your taste, all of these different things. And again, we talked about last week your RAS, the reticular activation system, the bundle of nerves. All of that, it's a part of your your sensory, your arousal system in your body. So the RAS. So again, neurobic practices and neurobic exercises. I'm gonna do it again. Number 1, they said you can close your eyes while you're taking a shower. I'm gonna do that. I'm definitely going to do that. It heightens your memory. It heightens your attention and your focus. Eat a meal with your family in silence and use only visual cues if you want to communicate with them. That's number 2. Number 3, most people, some people do it, some won't. But number 3, you can go camping or bird watching or fishing, nature walking on the weekend. Those will heighten your memory and your attention and your focus. Number 4, take your child or your spouse or your parent to work with you for the day. Most people can't do it, but if you can, try it. All right. Number 5, take a completely new route to work. Like I said, I'm a creature of habit, but I would do this sometimes. I would take a whole nother route to work. Okay. And just to stir it up, to do something different. Number 6 says to shop at a farmer's market instead of your supermarket, or shop at a new supermarket. And you do, when you go to like a farmer's market or a world type of market, it's so many different types of foods and spices and vegetables and even fruits. They have such different fruits and stuff that we may not be accustomed to over here. But if you buy some and try it, you would be surprised how much you really like it. Okay. Number 7 says completely rearrange your whole workplace or your home desk or your table or your kitchen services for the day. I'm actually going to try that tomorrow. Just rearrange my whole workspace and my whole desk and see how that works for me. Okay. Number 8 says to do an art project like painting. And they said, try painting with your left hand. If you can't paint with your left hand, try writing with your left hand. That'll stir some things up. Number 9 says to buy some new fragrances for your house. Spray it and then try to see. I bought a fragrance for my car today and sprayed it. And I was trying to see, did it really matter? Whatever. Was it something worth it? Or was it just like an ordinary other spray that I bought? So I'm going to try it again and see if it'll heighten anything. Number 10 says listen to Barack era music, which we did. Number 11 says to read challenging materials and then read it out loud. Number 12 says eat new or unfamiliar foods. And see, that could be a dual thing. Like if you go to a world market or a farmer's market, then you can buy something and try it. And all of that will heighten your senses. All of that will heighten, help your memory. It'll help your attention and your focus, all of that. All right. So Dr. Brandon says, obviously we don't need to do every one of these practices, but it's a good idea to switch things up a bit in our lives and try to break free from the repetitive, mundane daily activities, and then to stimulate our brain in new ways. So these are like really easy things that we can do to kind of stimulate our brains. It's easy for us to get in the shower and close our eyes and shower. Okay, it's easy to do that. It's easy to go to the library. Libraries are still open. I still have a library card. I like to go to the library sometimes. It's easy to just go there. Give yourself 30 minutes. Go to a library. Find a book that normally you would never read. Read it and go in a corner and read it out loud. All of this will, stimulate your brain. Take a new route somewhere. I'm going to probably do that tomorrow too. So practices like these will help us develop greater focus, greater attention, memory, and to keep our brains healthy and strong. Okay, so again, tonight I wanted to really talk about, I know I talked about creativity on Tuesday night and we really ran over, but overcoming the battle of negative thinking. A lot of times when we can put our mind and put our brains on something different, when negative thoughts are trying to enter our brain and trying to overtake us, we can pick up something and read it. Pick up something and read it if you can. Turn on some music like they did, something just to switch that off. And so we can get in a better headspace. Okay. We can do anything we choose to do. Tuesday night, we talked about how our conscious mind really, really directs and tells our subconscious mind what to do, how to think, and stuff like that. So again, we can combat the negative thoughts. Again, Dr. Jacob, he talked about how we have over 6,000 negative thoughts that enter, 6,000 thoughts, that enter our brain every day. And most of them are negative thoughts. So we, especially those of us that are Christian believers, okay, and we have that foundation. We know the importance of combating these negative thoughts. And a lot of times we can put on, if we don't listen to the Baroque era music, then we're going to put on some Christian music, some praise music, something that will switch that negativity off and put us in a better mind frame. So again, tonight I added, we talked about creativity on Tuesday night. And tonight, even the neurobic practices, they're still very creative. These are creative ideas that we put out there about, again, eating a meal, well, trying something new, unfamiliar food, going to a farmer's market, listening to Baroque era music, again, closing your eyes while we're showering, rearrange your desk or something, your kitchen table, rearrange it. All of this stuff, when you're doing stuff like this, you don't have time. Most people can't think negative thoughts and still try to do these different things, something different at the same time. So one thing is going to outweigh the other, and hopefully and prayerfully, you redoing something will outweigh that negative talk in your head, or as Dr. Jacob was saying, that stinking thinking. All right, so let's move on to our takeaway for tonight. And I'm going to open it up a little bit and then close it back. So our takeaway tonight says that your life moves in the direction of your strongest and most frequent thought pattern. So you're the most influential person in your own life because no one else talks to you more than you do. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Your life moves in the direction of your strongest and most frequent thought patterns. So you're the most influential person in your own life, and because no one talks to you more than you do. All right, so we have to remember that wherever our mind is going, it's going to dictate our emotions. So if we can continue to be aware of anything negative, we can combat it, switch it off, use some of these neurobic practices to kind of take our mind off of the stinking thinking, and then keep going from there. And we just got to keep moving and keep doing this, because again, our mind dictates our thought patterns. Okay, so the quote, let me open this up a little bit and close it. The quote for tonight says that great things are done by a series of small things that we brought together. And that is by Vincent van Gogh. All right, I'm going to say that again. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. So y'all know we've been talking about activating our 2024. This week it was by concentrating on ourselves, okay? By just really, really working on ourselves creatively, changing our negative thought patterns, those type of things. All right, so this is it. Okay, we did good for tonight. I'm going to move this on. We're going to pick up next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for week 3, activating our 2024. And we're going to be talking about a different subtopic next week. All right, so I want y'all to, I gave y'all homework on Tuesday night. I hope y'all were able to look at some of those things and figure out how you're going to incorporate it into your life. And then tonight, I gave you all some tidbits on how we can do some neurobics, like aerobics, but it's neurobics, and how we can challenge our minds a little bit. And it doesn't take a lot. Like I said, the things that I gave, challenge our minds, because it's going to help our memory, our attention, and our focus. All right. So this is let me open this up for my fellow counselors and theorists. This is where I got my teachings and my theories from for tonight. And each time I come on, I put the theory websites where I got my teachings from. So that's it. All right, so let's move this on. I'm going to move this quick. Better Up is if you want to create a personal and professional transformation through an expert life coaching, Better Up. www.betterup. You can look them up, and they will pair you with a life coach that will work for you. All right, let's add a plus community. I love the Add a Plus community. Learned about it last year. Ecstatic about Add a community is a special is a support group for people, whether you're adults or your children, that have ADD, ADHD, OCD, those type of things, and they come together. And again, it's a support group. Y'all, they give helpful tips on how you can become more successful and be able to do more things and be more motivated in your overcoming ADD and ADHD. All right, add a plus community. 988 is a crisis hotline. If you know anyone that is struggling, refer to them 988. And feel free to, give them the information. They can contact 988. It's 24/7. They can contact them, your phone, cell phone, text them. You can contact them online. You can reach them anyway. They have 24-hour, 7 professional licensed coaches and professional therapists that are there to talk with you, and it's a safe space. 988 Crisis Helpline. All right, now BetterHelp.com is a www.betterhelp.com is a 24/7 safe space that if you wanted to talk to a licensed counselor. It's affordable. They work with your time and with your income. BetterHelp.com. They will pair you with a licensed therapist or life coach if you want that as well at BetterHelp.com. All right. And the next one is Learning RX. Listen, Learning RX is for people that may struggle with intellectual disorders or even ADD, ADHD, or a lot of professional people. They go to Learning RX to keep their mind sharp, like politicians, doctors, lawyers. CEOs, major CEOs. They go to Learning RX to help stimulate their mind, to keep them fresh and sharp. And it is noted and noted that the people who have partnered with Learning RX, their IQs have increased at least 13 points. I had learned about Learning RX years ago, and I love the services that they give. They'll give you a brain scan, and they'll sit down and talk with you about the areas that can be improved, or they ask you what areas that you want improved. They will specify whatever plan that you need for you, and they will partner you with the proper training coach, and they will make sure that you achieve your goals. LearningRx.com. All right, and let me move this on. All right. So if there's a past Counsel of the Day with Shanrae series that you missed or you just want to rewatch, go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and then select any past series that you would like to watch. All right. Now, I am a Degreed counselor. I do counseling. I do as well. So if you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via my Facebook Messenger page at Shanrae Owens, or you can email me at my ShanraeCheriePrice@gmail.com. I am a life strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist specialist. So I do hands-on, I do homework. That's the type of strategies that I use with my clients. And I'm very proud to say that I've had a lot of success with the clients that I have worked with. All right, so I will see y'all next Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend for week 3 of activating your 2024. Enjoy your weekend. Do some of these neurobic exercises or practices that I shared with you on tonight. I will catch y'all next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing y'all again Tuesday and Thursday of next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All righty then.